And to start, I'd like to give a round of applause to our panelists joining us today. We have a big panel, so we'll do the best we can. Excuse me. But let's start by everybody going down the line and introducing yourself and telling us a little bit about you. We'll start here with Nicholas.
Yes, what's the question? I'm sorry.
So let's start with a brief introduction to yourself and share something you're excited about that you're working on.
I'm extremely excited. My name is Nicholas Tetro, again, a former elected politician and maybe going back in politics in Canada. So I'm extremely excited about my partnership with McGill University and the Montreal Jewish Hospital in oncology, where I'm funding 100% of the study to determine if low pressure hyperbaric oxygen therapy with no added oxygen will help actually improve the efficacy of immunotherapy and chemotherapy. And I'm extremely excited about this because we've already kind of pre-tested it and the efficacy seems to be tenfold. So hoping that the final results will be good.
Amazing, thank you, Nicholas. And let's bring it over to Stan.
Hi, Greg Downey, Perm Ventures.
Sorry, Greg, you're mixed up by, the pictures are all out of order. Go ahead.
That's right. So anyways, got about 30 years in healthcare, all on early stage companies. Started with J&J and then got into venture-backed stuff. I'm probably most excited about, or I am very excited about, we have a portfolio of about 25 healthcare companies, from diagnostics to therapeutics to wearables and all kinds of stuff. But they're all winners by themselves. But when we're now kind of clustering them together in SPVs and putting them into particular centers, to where now we have a solution set for autism. We have a solution set for many forms of cancer. Diabetes is, we're not talking about just treating diabetes with insulin, but actually repairing the body and getting you off insulin. But it's pretty wild when you see what's being combined from nature, from nanotechnology to frequency, light, some of these other therapeutics that have massive market potential, and really actually being able to heal people. So that's what we're excited about.
Thank you very much. Let's bring it over to Stan.
Yeah, my name is Stan Kishnowski. I'm super excited about what we're seeing right now with digital therapeutics and wearables that can actually improve your healthcare, whether it's something like a cancer or something like a mental health issue. We're seeing tremendous exercise in that, and I run clinical trials in that area. My background is director of the digital health programs at Columbia, and I run a testing lab called the Healthcare Innovation Technology Lab out of New York City, Washington Heights. And I'm also a visiting professor at the Indian Institute of Technology in New Delhi, India, since 2003. A fellow at the Royal Society of Medicine in England, which is also where I got my doctorate at Oxford University.
And what are you most excited about right now that you're working on? Stan, question for you really quick.
Oh yeah, the digital therapeutics. The ability to use devices, not only to track your sleep or your exercise, but also to actually cure. And we're seeing tremendous efficacy, even better than pills, in certain devices like goggles and things like that, to bring down depression, to reduce pain, and things like this. So we're seeing some devices now, they've been around for a few years, but now we're seeing in longer aggregation study with a lot of different patient types, that they're having a tremendous efficacy there.
Amazing, thank you. And Sanjay, let's bring it over to you.
Good morning. My name is Sanjay Srivastava, and for the last 3 decades, I've been in California developing cardiovascular medical devices that's eliminating open surgeries and doing procedures in a minimally invasive manner. Most of my time, about 2 decades, I worked at larger companies like Johnson & Johnson, where I led the business development team and acquired companies like what I later on went on to create it. The company. So I sold my last company to another major company in medical devices, and I have my current company that I will tell you as we go on here, that I'm super excited about these types of therapies. So what I'm excited about is eliminating surgery for major cardiovascular diseases and doing them like a drive-through procedure.
Love it. There we go. And Dr. Nadia, take it away.
My name is Nadia Meknouzi. So I'm a martial artist, a scientist, so you always find me around wellness. My 2 exciting things that I'm working on is business and as well nonprofit. Being an athlete and an undefeated fighter and competed for a national team for many years, I've learned so many about my experiences. So I opened NTLM Sports Foundation, where every time I see a talent, I just adopt them, I take care of them, they train for free, I sponsor them from A to Z till they make it to their way and get their own contract. And on the science field, I am a pharmacy doctor and I have 3 ongoing researches. And my main goal is to give back to Africa. In fact, in few days, I will welcome all of you to join us for the Global Family Office Investment Summit in Morocco, come this June out of Marrakesh. And as well, I'm working with a lot of countries in Africa trying to discover the actual future wealth, because that's going to be the new source of it. And otherwise, happy to be here. It's a great thing that, to meet all these wonderful people. And
Yeah, glad you're here as well. Let's bring it right over to Gaurav.
Hi, my name is Gaurav. I am the founder and CEO for VitalFrame. So what we have done is the first ever FDA cleared medical watch in the world, because we saw that there are many fitness trackers and things like that people can use, but can you rely on that? So the thing is, now the time is changing where you need to actually rely on a wearable that can be with you and can be medically, clinically graded data that you can apply for blood pressure and sleep and others. So we are the first one in the world that has a wearable that actually my fellow members are talking about, which can do pre and post efficacy of things. So you can go to a particular place for getting a treatment. How do you know that treatment actually worked? When you go back home and you're monitoring this data, about 8.64 million data points a day, you're utilizing our wearable, now you know the true efficacy of whether it worked. And so that's what we are trying to do. So lots of the cross-pollination with our fellow members here, but great to be here. Very excited that I think the wearable, the whole space is flourishing. And now we are one of them in the medical side, coming in with all the fitness and medical joined together into one.
Great, thank you. And let's bring it over to Paul.
Yeah, thank you. I'm Paul Chaminet, founder and CEO of AngieX. We're a developer of an antibody-drug conjugate therapy for solid cancers. Before that, I had a natural health business, wrote a best-selling health and diet book called Perfect Health Diet, and had a health retreat. And before that, I was a tech entrepreneur, and before that, I was an astrophysicist at MIT, Berkeley, and Harvard. And what excites me is AngieX, our drug. We're in the clinic. You may find handouts on your tables about it. Our scientific founders found what we believe is the Achilles heel of cancer, and we've made the arrow that can strike that heel, and we think we can save millions of lives. So that's a very exciting thing. And I'm also excited about the potential for natural health approaches and for digital health, wearables, AI health coaching to kind of pull things all together and get to a much better medical system for us.
All right, thank you, Paul. And let's bring it over to Chad.
Hello, everyone. My name is Chad Olin. I'm the founder and CEO of Supermind. We help people to improve their brain health and brain performance. And we do that in 2 ways. First, with brain mapping, where we have EEG sensors that we place on the head. And this can tell you why your thought patterns are the way that they are, and give you a sense of observing your brain instead of being stuck in those patterns. And then the second thing that we do is we help people to rewire their brain through a program using coaching, meditation techniques, and neurofeedback, which can be very effective for anxiety, depression, PTSD, burnout, subconscious trauma healing, focus, sleep improvement, and anything else that relates to nervous system functioning.
All right, so we have a lot to cover. We've got a lot of people on stage. So I'm gonna ask a couple questions here. Let's try to keep it, 30 seconds, 1 minute max. But let's start with where the real breakthroughs are actually happening. So this is a question. We'll go Nicholas, Sanjay, Chad, and Nadia. What is the most misunderstood breakthrough happening right now in your field? Let's start with Nicholas.
I think there are many things. Integration of hyperbarics, gene therapy, a lot of ultra-advanced gene therapies are becoming available, not officially approved by the FDA, but we can have access to them. They're actually helping my son. Other thing is the microbiome, the intestinal bacteria, super interesting. In Canada, we're studying a lot, and also the addiction to pesticides. A lot of people are addicted to pesticides. It's something that's unknown of, and the same companies that own pesticide companies own also the big pharma and also own processed food. So a lot of things are falling into play.
And Sanjay, let's take it over to you.
Yeah, so in healthcare, you have pharmaceuticals and biotech, you have healthcare IT, and you have medical devices. And the least understood segment, and perhaps the most attractive segment in this, is medical devices. And within medical devices, cardiovascular is one of the diseases that everybody knows kills lots of people. And what we have been fortunate to have been in that business of saving lives, and it's very attractive in reimbursement. So while saving lives, we've been making money, and still lots of people don't know about it because the IT is there everywhere. Everybody thinks that digital health and AI, and I'm going to be controversial here within my fellow session mates, but we will tell you how to make money by these mechanical devices where we are changing the world by eliminating open surgery. And I hope that you would at least get that out of this session and walk away with these new therapies that are changing the world.
Thank you very much. Let's bring it over to Chad.
The power of neuroplasticity. How many people in here are familiar with a story of someone that had something happen to them? Maybe it was an accident where they were told they would never be able to walk again or they wouldn't be able to see. And somehow their brain was able to break through whatever it was and regain that function. Are people familiar with that as a concept?
It happened to me.
I'm sorry?
It happened to me.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, I was in a wheelchair for 2 years and a year and a half in crutches. They told me you never walk again.
So this is a perfect example of the power of neuroplasticity. And if you haven't seen the talk by Jill Bolte Taylor, it was one of the first TEDx talks to go viral. It's very inspiring. She talks about this concept. So the breakthrough in our field is applying this concept to mental health, which means that we can rewire neural pathways in the brain to fundamentally change our thought patterns and experience life with a much higher quality of life.
Amazing. And Nadia, let's finish it off with you here.
And just to continue on the same thought, it's wellness. It doesn't equal just going to the gym or going to the doctor, or it's a combination of so many tools. As we're advancing in time, we're getting all this AI, MedTech, and it's a beautiful balance that we are surrounded with an environment that we can put everything to a nice collaboration. Like I just recently created the methods, but I had to reach out to an AI tech for me to make the application happen. So longevity, it's in our hands, but we have to just make sure that we pay attention to everything out there, because now we can do things that were impossible in a matter of just like a couple of clinical visits. So that's one thing that's overlooked a lot.
Amazing. And let's bring it over to Stan. From an academic and digital health lens, which innovations are actually clinically meaningful versus just hype?
Yeah, one of the things that digital is doing for medicine and devices is helping determine what is meaningful. And when you begin to look at how AI is being used to assimilate data, you can figure out which data is more meaningful faster. And so when we look at how AI and how digital is affecting everything from molecule and device identification to early testing to later testing to go to market, the cycle time for that, where it used to take 6 to 12 months to make an FDA to take all your data and summarize it and submit it to the FDA, is now 4 to 6 weeks. So those sorts of very significant incremental and varied innovations are changing the entire value chain from start to finish for molecule and device development and reducing it by anywhere from 30 to 50%. So that's a good global way of understanding how healthcare and life sciences is being changed now.
Amazing. And question for Gaurav. Excuse me. Where are we seeing real traction in personalized or preventative care?
So in Vital Friend, we are seeing a strong traction in three areas. Actually, the first area is that now the clinicians are relying on medically graded data. So for example, if you go to your cardiovascular, for your cardiologist actually, and you tell them you're having a high blood pressure or something, they will actually be giving you a heart, basically a blood pressure monitor system that you go back home, but you have to take it all yourself. So that thing is changing. Now they understand wearables. They kind of tell you, hey, you got to be more preventative, not just take one time a day. So that is the first traction. We're seeing that the clinicians are open-minded now, a lot more into trends. The second piece we're seeing is like post-acute surgery centers and chronic condition management. Before you come to your surgery, how do you know that you're ready for it? Did you have your better sleep? Did you have your blood pressure right? How was your heart rate? People's heart rate will go high because they're going for a surgery. So they're able to now monitor that using some medical wearable to see, hey, you're ready for it, and now let's go ahead and do it. Same thing with chronic condition. Third one is actually preventative. They realize that being in a continuous monitoring state of not one data point, but multi-data points can give you trends. And so we are seeing the big openness of both patients, family members, and actually the clinicians, all working together for helping the outcomes, and not just a wearable for something. So
amazing. Yeah, it's great to hear all these breakthroughs happening. Let's bring it over to the capital and investment trends. This is a question for Paul and Greg. What are investors actually looking for in this space right now? Let's start here.
I think a couple of things. One, if you're doing early stage stuff, which is where we typically focus, the kind of seed to A round, it's the team. We usually, we'll partner up with MDs and PhDs, have a really small team, and then we can bring people around them if that's necessary. But it's really the track record of the team. Are they coachable? Can they be good stewards of capital? Do they want the help? Those are the things that we look for personally. And then the other one is traction in the market. Do they have intellectual property protection? Have they taken those kind of necessary steps? And then for third, we're really looking at these billion-dollar markets. So is it truly disruptive? I spent a lot of time in orthopedics, and it's like this. I'm not looking for another pedicle screw or another cage or anything like that. We're looking for stuff that's going to disrupt the big pharma players because it's happening. We've been doing that with early stage companies, is that they move faster if they have the right team, if they have the right resources. They can move a lot faster and nip at the heels of the big guys because they can't move that fast. So if we can do that, position that correctly, works the team, bring in our resources, bring in our advisors, open up markets, that happens. So it's those elements that we look at before we actively engage with the company.
Great. And Paul?
Yeah, well, I think it's a time of tremendous flux in the field of medicine and in health generally. So there were a lot of technologies developed about 20 years ago for looking at sequencing of the human genome, looking at gene expression, and lots of other technologies that have enabled a much more scientific approach to drug development and more sophisticated kinds of drugs like our modality antibody drug conjugates, which are largely replacing chemotherapies now. And so that move to much more intelligent precision medicine is combining with business changes. So you're seeing things move away from the old pharma model, where I would say their big advantage was sales and marketing, having contracts with tens of thousands of hospitals, being able to price discriminate and charge a lot more to one person than another. Those things are changing. The pharma companies are facing big patent cliffs. And meanwhile, we have all these modern technologies, and people are realizing that a lot more can be understood. There's a lot of natural interventions that can help and replace drugs. So there are big business model changes as well. And so a lot of opportunities with new transformative medicines, a lot of opportunities with integrating data and AI, health coaching potentially, and shifting to a new model of medical delivery that may be a lot more efficient and a lot more effective at improving health. So that's kind of a high-level general view, but I think a lot of opportunities will fall in under that kind of an umbrella.
All right, I'm going to open up this question to the group, so don't all raise your hands at once, but you all have experience on the financial side in one way or another. So where is capital flowing right now? Is it devices, therapeutics, AI, platforms, or something else? Who would like to take it away? Sanjay.
Yeah, I mean, anything digital and AI is definitely drawing a lot of capital, and that's all good because digital and AI technologies can help us learn more about our body, diagnose things. And then the medical device segment where I have been, which is for the most part treating diseases that are killing people or that can kill people. And that's where the money is. And that's the least understood segment because the reimbursements for these things that we're enabling without doing open surgery, stick a needle at the groin and you travel to heart, lungs, head, toe, and we develop solutions for stroke. We can now repair and replace valve inside your heart without without doing an open surgery, and you can go home the next day and go to work the next week. So these things are changing the world and saving lives and contributing towards longevity and well-being overall, but they are not as well understood because so I see I'd say there's plenty of opportunities there, and you can get in these medical devices that are 3 to 5 years of development cycles, you can get 6 to 8x return with far lower risk than biotech or a lot of the other things. So.
Amazing, thank you. And go ahead, Gaurav.
So I'm now going to wear my LP hat, right? I'm an LP in many funds, and then I'll talk from the founder hat. The way the money is flowing from the LPs and from others are, we love the mission, we love the impact that it's going to make to the society, but then it's a long hold game because, how do you get the return? So you got to look at economic alignment, you got to look at, your clinically credibility and stuff. So it's all over. I was in Dana Point in LSI 2026, was a great conference too. Lots of MedTech companies, right, raised a lot of money, but had no economic alignment. They were building great stuff. So I think that AI is a catalyst. It's just not everything. I think it's a .com era kind of thing. So AI is a given. If somebody comes to me and says, I'm an AI company, I'll never invest in that. Just me. And I'm saying it from my side, and we do AI, but we say we are an AI that helps you. So it's the same type of thing because you really need the people. So MedTech, I would say, is definitely going one. Two, and now I'm going to wear the founder's hat for a minute, that the money that has to be given is for the right cause to save lives. I do agree with Sanjay that saving lives is one of the biggest motion. Longevity is the second one. Wellness preventative is another one. So there's a lot of proactive stuff that's happening.
Amazing. Let's bring it over to scaling and real-world impact, bridging that gap from innovation to execution. So this is a question for Nicholas. What are the biggest barriers to scaling advanced therapies globally?
It's all the blockage from the institutional blockage from governments. Let's be honest. The Health Canada, the equivalent of FDA, is protecting the pharma industry. It's protecting change. It's blocking change. It also is financing shortages of funds in universities. I'm astonished that no doctors in Canada receive nutritional courses in medicine. It's ridiculous. Why are they blocking stem cells in Canada? Because it works. Why are they blocking low-pressure hyperbarics? I make you laugh. Because it works. It's going to kill the painkiller industry. It's a collusional system that is protecting itself. They say they're defending the public. They're not. Partly they are. They're blocking and resistance to change. Why are we the last ones to receive the best cancer treatments in the world? Why in Canada are you only able to receive them when you're in end of life or palliative care? Even if you want to pay for them, they're blocking access and you can get criminally charged. Last comment, why can't we even say things that we've all learned in high school? That taking vitamin C helps for infections. Why are they blocking vitamin C infusions in IV in your veins? Because it works.
Amazing, thank you. And Stan, yeah, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Stan, from your experience, how do we bridge the gap between research, regulation, and commercialization?
Yeah, it's the old adage that communications really do help improve relations, and relations help improve understanding and context. So having conversations about like what we just discussed and getting it out in the air and airing it out begins to open up a dialogue. We find out what's causing the blockage, and then we start removing those blocks so we can get patients medications, we can get them alternative medications, whatever you want to call it, faster, better, and more efficiently.
Thank you. And Chad, what types of insights can people get from a brain map that actually make a real impact on their life?
How cool would it be if in just 15 minutes, someone could come to your home, put sensors on your head, and tell you exactly how your brain is working currently? And so, for example, what if my delta waves, which are the survival brain waves, are taking up 50% of my brain energy? Then I don't have a lot left for focus, for enjoyment of my life, which would be beta and alpha. And so that can be very instructive for someone that may be stuck in a pattern of burnout where they're constantly on the go and they've kind of normalized it. And when you see that data, it's this aha moment of, hey, I've got to invest more time in my well-being and my self-care.
Amazing. Let's look towards the future. So, question for Greg. One prediction for the next 5 to 10 years in this space.
In this space, I'll speak to a couple things. One, orthopedics. This is going to blow up most people's minds. About 85% of total knee replacement surgeries probably will not be done surgically in the next 5 years or less. You can modify human gait through correct technology. We have one of our companies that's actually based out of Orlando that's doing that through just simple gait modification, no surgery. We're not taking money out of the physician's pockets, but there's an economic model that's in it. So getting rid of doing the total joint, like this gentleman down here talking about opening up the chest wall to do cardiac surgery, that's going to be a thing of the past. And then I also think too, these major, this is where we're really bullish and why we're excited about moving things over to the UAE, is that they don't have a pharmaceutical lobby. So there's receptive over, can we bring technologies over there that will actually help our people? That was like music to my ears when I was over there. And thank you for Anthony for inviting us over there in February. It was a huge eye-opener. We can't wait to get back there. But it's we're going to see major diseases, the oncology, the cancers of the world, the diabetes of the world. I mean, God willing, it maybe won't happen in the United States first, but it is happening. This isn't science fiction. Even replacing human hearts. One of our portfolio companies can actually regenerate your own human heart with your own material. Dr. Doris Taylor's out of Texas. She's been doing this for years out of Texas Heart. So that can be done over there. But we're going to see major things. Unfortunately, I think people are going to have to fly to different countries to get some of this stuff done. It's just, that's the way it's been done. I launched a center in the islands to do stuff like this. We're working with a group in Costa Rica to do things like this. Unfortunately, this really game-changing, call it holistic, call it much natural, less invasive way of leveraging the body's ability to heal will, until there's a massive change at the pharmaceutical level or at the lobbying level in Washington. I think RFK is doing a good job. We're tied into MAHA and all that stuff. Until that happens, it's going to be difficult to get a lot of these things to go mainstream.
All right, we're coming up on our last couple of minutes here. I want to ask Dr. Nadia the same question. Next 5 to 10 years, what do you predict to happen?
We're going to be forever young if we do the right steps. And my advice, especially to investors, don't wait for the trend. Be the leader. Take the chances. If someone come out to you with something that is outside of your knowledge, don't just shut them off. Do your homework. A lot of investors, they either have the funds or they represent a family office. Do the diligence, because you don't want to be always the one like, I should have done this or I could have been part of this. For innovators, do not wait for the support. Create opportunities. Do not wait for them. Because wellness, like we said, it's a mental health. It's going to be as well monitoring devices. It's going to be so many things that connect. So for the next few years, I see that we are moving toward the right thing, and we should stop being afraid of AI and actually use it as a tool to push us further. And I'll leave some of the time, but you can always ask me questions after of this. I can talk about this forever.
I mean, I feel like this panel could go on a lot longer. Unfortunately, we're coming up on our time. Really quick, let's go right down the line. One quick action item for everybody, how to get involved, how to support you. Let's start with Nicholas.
Go back in politics and force change.
There we go. I love that.
I
Greg?
think the powers with family offices doing this. They got to reinvent the whole venture community, and it's happening. So I think it's going to be the private entrepreneur that makes a ton of money. They can back other entrepreneurs. That's how this stuff gets changed.
Stan, there we go.
I think someone said it earlier. I think the power of what we're doing is in this room. You folks know more about how to invest and how to build companies than most other major funds out there. So again, whatever you can do, look me up on LinkedIn, connect with me. I'm happy to help you in what you're doing. I'm the only Stan Kishnowski on LinkedIn, so it's not too hard to find me. But again, I think the hope that I have is that folks like you are going to stay active in healthcare and life sciences and really take the leadership role there.
Thank you, Stan. Sanjay.
So for people like driven and hardworking people in this room who find a way to make money, there's lots of ways to make money. But I invite you to invest in these technologies that can save lives and give you a very, very attractive return. So please look me up and talk to me, and we'll find a way to have you make the difference as well as make the more returns than you probably generally do.
I think I already made my point, but I want to take this moment to say thank you very much, because what Antonio Ritosa is doing, it's a great thing, collaborating with all these great minds. So I want to take this, please, everybody, applaud Mr. Sir Anthony Ritosa. Thank you very much. And again, I hope to see you in Morocco. Please think about it. Hopefully, we'll get to do the announcement in a few days.
Thank you, Nadia. Gaurav?
I would say that the answers are here in this room. I think that this is a really nice group put together from all over the world actually here. So if we cannot make a change, I don't think anybody else can. So I actually go with what Nadia was saying is be open, invest, do the due diligence, believe in the founders. And founders, I think you need to believe on yourself, keep on building. And I'm here, looking for strategic partners. If there's anything else, happy to talk afterwards. And I'm saving one life at a time. If you have a senior parent, you want to know how they're doing right now, meet me. I can give you a free buddy for that. So that way it at least makes a change.
And Paul?
Yeah, I would say don't underestimate the value of family office money to entrepreneurs. So just in my field, therapeutics, institutional investors, they really want laid and de-risked, and that leads them to do things like seeking fast follower innovations out of China and waiting until the drug is almost ready for approval to fund it. I think the willingness to seek to have an impact and to be patient capital and to build relationships, that's really a tremendous competitive advantage for family office money in the space, and an opportunity to do good and to be benign capital that helps us innovate. So thank you for being involved.
And Chad.
Nobody is stuck with their brain. Every single human being has the power to change their brain and their brain waves. If you or someone you know is stuck dealing with stress, burnout, sleep issues, mental health challenges, please come up to me and we'll see what we can do to help.
Thank you. Let's give it up for our panelists for packing a lot of information into a 35-minute panel. Really appreciate it. Thank you, guys.